going, everyone? How you doing? Here we go. A few people have done a red Sonja already, yeah, because I'm always back of the queue. But this is my newest statue, my red Sonja. I don't know what it's called. Is it Saw with a Vengeance? But this is Prime 1's take on it. I've been a big fan of red Sonja because I did have the original Sideshow one, the one called Victorious, where he was holding the Frost Giant head. But then red Sonja 2 come along. And She Devil with a Sword, and that was so much better, so I sold that one off, got that one, didn't really want to sell it, but in the end I did get rid of it to a good buyer. Probably one of Sideshow's best. They did make a third one and then come along this one, and I have to say each red Sonja that's come along has got better and better, although I still think the second one was better than the third Sideshow version. But this one, now I've seen it in person and I've got it, is the best of the lot. It's just got so much more detail, but the most important thing, which I won't be able to show you because cameras and pictures just can't replicate it, is the skin texture. It's a translucent paint that really shows off a skin tone that looks brilliant. It's really well done. It's such a big improvement over the normal flesh flat paint that you normally get with the occasional bit of airbrush shading to highlight like the six packs or definition of the muscles. But anyway, so this one is a big beast. This is 32. I mean, I was a little bit at first because I've got these cabinets. I like these cabinets. I think they're really nice. And I got this one, and then I saw the diameter of the base, and I thought it's not going to fit. And you know what? It does just fit. So I can fit it in one, literally by 1mm to spare. I kind of preferred. I mean, Prime 1 seemed to be getting bigger and bigger on the bases, and it's making it really hard to show off statues that way. But I just about managed it. I'll have to pay more attention to measurements of statues in future, I think, because they're becoming a bit of a struggle. This is the deluxe version. I've got it set up in a deluxe way. In other words, I've put the cape on it. I'm still half and half on whether to have the cape or not. Lots of people don't actually use the cape. Some people do because it does highlight a nice red, and it's a really nice quality. I'll show you better in a minute. And one thing that I will be denied is to have the sword up like I've got here, so I wanted to show it in the video with the sword up. I'm going to have it pointing down because with the sword up it actually tallies 40 inches or 41 inches high, and I can only get in my cabinet about 32.5 inches. So with the sword down I can get away with it. Sword up like this, which I really like, and it's a shame can't do it unless I get a table and have this as like a centerpiece in the room, one of two centerpieces I want in the room, which I could do because it's a circular base, so in no raw would it actually look bad if I did it that way. But anyway, this is done really well. I mean, if I just talk about the snake first, the snake is really good. It's got this, it's not showing up on the video sadly, a little bit. It's got a half rainbowy texture where it's got an aqua green, a dark green and a light green, all in the tone of the snake itself, and that really works for me. It's done brilliantly. A few bits which I was a little surprising, which in the end I thought were going to be a bit blasé, but these teeth are done really well. They're actually plastic. What I mean is from this point upwards down there is made out of plastic, and the same goes for the drool at the bottom as well. Which makes me think, why didn't they put the drool on the big chap that's coming out by Prime 1 and use the plastic style to do it as well, because that will work brilliantly for it. Other than that, it is done quite well. I mean, the head, the joints are actually really good. Unlike a piece that I did have on order and I've now cancelled it by Iron Studios of the Felbies, where you can see the seam. The seams are covered up brilliantly on this. There's only a few very small visible seams which you can't see because the capes cover them on near the top of the little small snakes. So that's done quite nicely. It's got got it away. One thing people didn't mention, there's a couple of videos I've seen of it, and they didn't mention this. The skulls are actually okay. I do think the teeth, they look too clean. They could do with a little bit of a grey sort of wash over them. They look way too white to me. I mean, they look like someone's come from Essex and just had their teeth whitened. Considering how old the colour of the skulls are themselves, they just don't match right. Nah, not impressed with that bit. And the other thing is also the skulls. If you look at the skulls, they're actually joined together like they're in one mould, and it looks that way too. So here, for instance, so in other words, it could be something from the Thing movie. You know, the two heads together. It's the same sort of thing. He's died as two skulls combined together. But that's it. That's it. The bad things. Everything else from then on is perfect. It really is really well done. It's fantastically done. What I want to do, because I did mention it in the title, it's a comparison to the old one. Now, when I had the original Red Sonja 2, I had a damaged head and they sent me another one, so I kept the old head because the paint was a bit there, so they sent me another one of the head. Now, if you look at the two heads together, the look of them is very, very similar. They don't look a lot different, do they? They're sort of almost, if anything, copied the design of the first head. The only difference is it's on their hairs is shorter on this one, and it's a lot longer in the Prime 1 version, and obviously a lot more red. Well, this one's a slightly more brownier red version. Other than that, the skin tone, as I mentioned before, is a lot better, obviously, on Prime 1s. It's just so much better detail. Again, doesn't show on camera, but it does look like she's got a bit of a tan to her as well. So that's the main difference. That's the difference between the two of them. Quite pleased overall. The chest area is a lot bigger than it looks in the pictures as well. For some reason, when you see it in person, this is the epitome of what the perfect woman would look like if she ever existed, because everything is in the right place and perfectly done, and the curves are in the right place, the tone of her muscles under her skin. I can't show you because of the cape's covering it up, but the back muscles are done beautifully well. They're really nicely done. On the front, she's got the six-pack going on, which reminds me of Jessica Ennis years ago when she won the Olympics. She's got that, and then she's got the thighs. Now, I've taken the back piece off of it just because I wanted to show you, and they didn't show it in the videos, this back piece, which looks really nice because it flows, just to show you she does have underwear on. And I even managed to give her a purple thong as well. It's the most amazing ass ever. So that's that part of it. The fur boots obviously was a nice addition. It is as small an item as it is, it's part of the sway of why I wanted the deluxe, because without them I just don't think they look as good. I don't think you can actually remove them. I think they're sewn or glued into place, and they look nice anyway. I wouldn't want to remove them, so they stay exactly as they are. As I said, it does come with two other swords. You can see it in other people's videos, one with it pointed down right at the snake's head, which is the version I'm going to have. This beautiful one where it's right up in the air. It is a metal sword, so it's got some weight to it as well. And then you've got the axe. Now I will show you the axe. If I can go over here and grab it for you. Oh, excuse me. Right. Okay, so the axe is just a little bit too small when it's on it. It's not silly, but it needed to be another third of the size bigger than what it is. What I do like is it's got these lovely Celtic ruins. They could have been done probably with a more shiny effect to them rather than the matte finish, but they've done really well, like cogwheels and Celtic sort of design. And of course, trademark is obviously to have the nice dark red blood on it as well. The wooden stalk that it's on is just your normal bulk standard sort of paint job on it. It's nothing special. Nice little hook on the end. She wanted to turn it around. do a bit of an eyeball, heels of eyes straight in the eye, so you can do that too. The leather effect on the hands and all of the Red Son is obviously very nicely done, as Prime 1 done. I've noticed it's exactly the same texture as the small skirt that's on the Predator on the back. Exactly the same sort of paint design texture used in the same way, so that works nicely. But unfortunately that will just go in the box because I have no need for using that axe version. Now there's also the sword hilt, which sits on there. Some people said that it sticks out a bit too much. It actually doesn't. It feels alright. You can't really see it, can you? It's hidden again under this cape. Now the cape is really nice, and the reason why I've still kept it rather than taking it off, because it's velvet. If you run your finger over it, it's the most loveliest velvet ever. You just want to just spend all night just stroking the velvet. Underneath that it's got the suede, and you've got the Forks fur, same as the boots, under that as well. So that's 3-layered cape, which hooks onto the armoured shoulder pads, which go with it too. So all the things that they want to think of, they've done and they've designed quite nicely. From here you get a good idea of the front of the skirt of Red Sonja, a nice silvery colour to it, but a little bit worn as well. So she's not going to be pristine as she's playing the character she is. She's going to be in fights, she's going to get a bit dirty and grubby. The hair, there's strands all over the place, and I'm quite lucky that mine didn't come broken, because I've seen a video and he's broken, and you can see how, despite the packing, these strands are all over the place. Although the head does come in 2 parts. This bit I was worried the most, this bit at the top. How the hell's that going to arrive? Not broken, especially that one at the top there. But it didn't. But it does come, as I said, in 2 parts. The front fringe here, that is all a separate piece. So that doesn't actually come on her head. You attach that with a magnet. So she looks quite funny at first without it, and then when you put it on, then there's the Red Sonja, you know. And the medallion, that's actually attached to her body already, and the head sits on top with the link up with the collar too. So there you go, all done. There we are, top of the head all the way down. Perfect pose as well. It's a really nice stance pose, wrapping around a snake, which is strands and cords. It's going all around amongst all of these. Now these little green snakes, they're nothing special, they're okay. There's quite a few of them. I think there's about 4 or 5 of them. Most of them are designed and put on there to cover the seams, because there are 3 parts to the snake, and each one sort of covers a certain area, so you can't see it. But I would have liked if Prime 1 done some colours of them. Give it a little dark red colour in one, give it a little dark blue colour in another, brown colour in another, rather than this olive flat green colour that you get with them. It's okay, but this is nothing special. But that's it. That's it. That's it. I said I wasn't going to nitpick with anything else, and I won't, because it's done really well. The tongue inside, the translucent paint and the shine and gloss make it look really good. The teeth, by the way, are all see-through. Really delicate. If I flicked it with my nail, I think it will break off that tooth and teeth at the bottom. Very easily done, so be careful with those. The eyes, there's the eyes on the Balikis or snake, whatever you want to call it. Very Shang-Chi, the Chinese dragon in that, the first dragon in that, the English, the good dragon. Very much similar sort of design look, despite the different colours. So there we go. There's the video. There's Red Sonja. Anyone who decides they want one, I really would say yes. You won't be disappointed. I'll say go for it. Really just go for it. I'm always changing what's my favourite statue in my collection. I don't have a lot. I've added. I counted them yesterday. 26. I'm up to now. But this one is fighting with my dog alien statue. Sitting down there at the moment, but it's going to go back on the table in a minute. Put the towel aside. That's going to go back on this table while this one goes in the cabinet. It's between the two of them. They're tied. They're my favourite two in my collection. I think they're fantastic. Hopefully I'll get the Balrog versus the Gandalf or the Tomb Raider Weta statue coming up before Christmas, but I'll wait and see. Other than that, my next video will probably be the 4K Lord of the Rings box set, which is out in, I think, 3 weeks time. 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks, something like that. But anyway, thanks for hanging out, and I'll chat to you all soon.